Welcome to This On, Season 3, Episode 13, where we watch Very Cavallari, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz.
Noah Singer.
Robert Kitts.
James.
I'm Harrison Hoffman.
Famous Italian fashion house Max Mara.
If you can't tell, we've got some sort of new audio setup. We don't know how this is going to work out in the long run, so, we'll see. Hopefully it's better.
Let us know how it sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know how it tastes.
Is it courtesy of Chris's Speaker Shack, also serving ribs on Sundays? Good ribs.
Ribs, no barbecue sauce.
Ooh.
Blasphemy.
So, this show.
What a show.
Noah, give us the description of the show.
The description of the show, the title of the show first is Very Cavallari, Season 1, Episode 1. The elevator pitch. Kristen Cavallari juggles her roles as a wife, mom, businesswoman, and friend as she launches the flagship store for her brand, Uncommon James. That's the pitch of the show. Listener note, this is a different James than the one speaking on the podcast.
That's right.
However,
Are we sure? I am not affiliated with the show in any form or fashion.
Our James is exceedingly rare.
Yeah, we have a good flavor of James on the podcast.
And I'll tell you what this show is.
Please tell us.
Tell us.
Garbage.
Oh.
Painful torture. That's what this show is.
It's not great.
It's essentially Vanderpump Rules, but you hate everyone.
There's no business to be operating yet.
Yeah.
It's so terrible.
Well, wait, we should hold the phone a little bit on that. There is a business being ran based on Kristen Cavallari's social media following.
How many thousands of dollars do you think she's made through this up until this show aired?
And today, it was Kylie Jenner's business is valued at $900 million. And that's purely based on the same model.
That's Kylie Jenner.
Who is this person? She's just married to Jay Cutler.
No, she was on The Hills, which is a popular MTV show.
It's an entirely different playing field.
It's definitely...
She was on both The Hills and Laguna Beach.
oh.
So she's a MTV reality staple from back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I get she's famous. She's not famous in my circle, so we are not the right demographics for this show at all.
I mean,
we are the exact opposite.
We are the demographic watching a different reality show every week, so maybe we are the right demographic.
We're in some sort of demographic, but if this show is on, I'm leaving the room. There's no way.
Yeah. The reason I just want to call that out, I think they're probably making some serious cash from this. Just because she has... I checked on her Instagram. She had 3 million people following her on Instagram.
I mean,
Pretty big.
as we've seen in other shows, as social media influencers, that's her job. That's her thing. And she's parlaying that into other, business out.
In a
That's
different
it.
avenue, right? Usually the influencers are paid by brands to promote
I
their
think-
products, where she's going direct to consumer, selling her own products.
That's when you're a baby social media influencer. When you're a real social media influencer, then you start running your own stuff.
You start producing a product.
All right, but back on subject. This show sucks.
Thanks for the subject. All right. So this show essentially starts out with Jay Cutler's wife. I don't care what her name is.
Kristen
Wait,
Cavallari.
I really got to hold the phone there because the show is about Kristen Cavallari. It feels a little bit rude to her that she's Jay Cutler's wife. It's literally her show, and Jay Cutler's her husband.
I mean, I
That's
agree
fair.
with you, but we watched the show because it was Jay Cutler's show.
Right, that's why we watched it. But the way the show is...
But Jay
positioned-
Cutler is by far the best part of the
There's
show.
a lot of Jay Cutler minutia to get to, but I don't know if we got to go through the show
Well,
first.
Let's go. I'll pack the show, I guess. I guess Kristen is opening up a store for her online jewelry brand called Uncommon James, and she's essentially, the show is just kind of her. She goes on a date with a friend. She talks to Jay. She's talking to these people in her house. There's 3 employees for this business. I don't remember their names. They're terrible
Doesn't matter.
people. And it's like just the drama of this one person that's the social media person that doesn't really want to do any work, because if you're just a social media person, you don't really need to work that much anyway. So like whatever. And somebody that's running the store trying to actually just manage the whole brand, and they're not getting along.
Let's put some names in though, so we can help.
If you
people
know the
follow.
names, feel free to add
So
them.
Shannon is a social media director.
Yep.
Brittany is brought in as the store manager, kind of like business operations person. And then there's an assistant, but I forget her name.
Ray.
Oh, it was Reagan. Max is right.
Reagan? Thank you.
Yeah, she's
she
not
goes
really
by
in the show.
several additional names, but that is starting to get into minutia.
I mean,
So,
I mean
are we
that's
ready
the whole
for it?
show. I mean, there was some other minor minutia about all the boyfriends of Shannon and Brittany
Yeah.
and how they're like working on an album together or something. I don't know. It just doesn't fucking matter.
Pretty easy. Shannon S. Social, Brittany B. Business.
I mean,
Hey?
It realistically, I didn't get
Yep.
their names because I really don't care.
I'm with Chris.
but what about the whole John Gurney side plot? that
Yeah,
we
that's what I was
have
saying.
with the
Like,
show?
there's some sort of boyfriend band thing that happens too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Tell me more with John Gurney.
John Gurney.
JG.
So this social media director is dating this singer-songwriter type of fella called John Gurney. And there is a shocking amount of time in this episode devoted to the music of John Gurney. Like, he sings an entire song to her in one scene, and some other scene we're at a John Gurney concert watching him perform. Like, I feel like there's got to be some kind of kickbacks happening here on this career.
Give me your review of John Gurney's musical talent.
He's all right. He's all right. I would say he's all right.
All right.
He's very like off-brand Ed Sheeran, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. Based on the cuts in the show, it seems like if he could perform in a studio, he could probably get it down right. Live, he was kind of flat. So don't give as much credit there.
You mean, like,
Imagine
musically flat or like
Yeah, musically
no-
flat. Like when he sang, he was flat.
Huh.
Imagine
Can't believe Noah's judging this guy's pitch
Noah
on this TV show. Can we just go to that for a
It's
second?
music. That's what
Let's
you-
hear your pitch.
for
perfect
what's-
pitch. Go.
Yo, can you give me like a
what
like a
pitch?
Can you give
One,
me like
I
a,
don't-
What's
yo,
your pitch, Noah?
yo, give me like a C sharp.
One, I don't have perfect pitch.
Okay.
I'm not claiming to have that.
But you have
Okay.
a perfect ear.
No, you could hear when they played this. Literally, the first thing he sang was off pitch. Then he got on well, but when he did his little like country rap thing, which was quite well, like that was executed good, and I think you could tell that was done probably several times to get that for the show.
Okay, so John Gurney, per Noah Singer, your pitch is a bit flat. You got to work on it.
In that live cut, they did.
Right.
All right. We're done with. We're not talking about these
We
people
gotta
anymore.
move on about
that was
it.
one of the most boring parts of this whole freaking show.
What about Gurney?
All right.
No one gives a
Free
shit.
Gurney.
Free Gurney.
So the first shot of Jay Cutler in this show. Do we need to talk about this?
Let's talk about it.
I don't know if there's anything to talk about, but Jay Cutler's in the show.
I've never seen what Jay Cutler looks like before. He looks so high all the time.
all the time.
Oh, like you've never seen even like a photo or anything.
I've seen him like under a helmet.
Oh, okay. So you at least knew what his face was.
Wait. Rob sends a Snapchat out every week with a Jay Cutler face.
Yeah, and I realize who that is now, but I thought it was just a guy.
So Jay Cutler, as you see in the show, seems like he's just doing nothing. He's very bored with all of this.
He's fucking retired.
I know he deserves to not doing
He's
anything.
just chilling.
It's great. It's great when he's on the show because he just doesn't care.
Oh, yeah.
And like all these cameras around, everyone's caring. Like
He has-
all of the people in the show really, really care about the show, and it's great to be in this reality show where this dude's just like, fuck, whatever.
He
I don't
has
care.
way too much money that the Chicago Bears paid him for being a piece of shit quarterback.
Right.
So he's just sitting on his ass in this reality show now.
He got
Alright,
another 10
quick-
mil last year with the Dolphins.
We got to take a little pause, step back. There's some Jay Cutler history
Oh, boy.
in this podcast. So I think we should kind of go through. So Harrison.
Yes.
Tell me about your experience in life with Jay Cutler.
Well, I'm a lifelong Chicago Bears fan, and as you know, people who follow the NFL might know, the Bears have had a quarterback problem pretty much forever. They've gone through about a million different quarterbacks since I've been a Bears fan, and at some point, here comes Jay Cutler,
The savior.
and everyone's very, very excited about it. Like, we traded away a bunch of draft picks and all this stuff, and we gave him this giant contract, and he was just very mediocre. He just never really got it done when he was there.
Super Bowl appearance though. Is that with Jay? Or
that
without
was
Jay?
with Rex Grossman.
Oh,
Jay Cutler was not playing. in
Damn,
that
I was
Super Bowl.
trying to give him
Oh,
a little something.
maybe that was some sort of hint.
Yeah.
So Jay Cutler once made the NFC Championship game and famously didn't play in the second half.
Yeah.
And that is sort of his most famous playoff moment.
Yes. It's,
And as James, would you?
Wait, I want one thing here. So, Harrison,
Yes.
true or false? You have proclaimed the statement, I feel Jay Cutler is going to be NFL MVP this year.
I have said that in some previous NFL seasons.
Seasons
It's like-
plural, is that right?
Multiple seasons. At
So
some point,
this-
I kind of resigned myself to the Jay Cutler fate, but I was definitely optimistic some seasons. It didn't really pan out.
Did you ever name a fantasy football team after Jay?
Maybe every single season.
What is that name?
Smoking Jay Cutler.
And why?
Because there's this internet meme of just the way that Jay Cutler's face looks, and like this lit cigarette that's just hanging out of his mouth. That was my team logo for a
Oh,
long
yeah.
time.
So good. How does he always look like he's smoking without trying?
Who knows?
How high was he during this filming?
Oh, he's got nothing else to do.
As
He does have
as-
to pick the kids up.
Yeah.
as
it's got
part of
kids
my
on.
minutia, there was a point where Kristen goes out with her friend and she's like, yeah, he's just watching some deer feed all day. It's not even deer feed, like a video of like deer where they are. It's not even at his place, so he can't even go shoot these deer that come out. So that's the kind of level of stuff he's doing, I feel.
He's not doing a damn thing.
I feel like he's just enjoying a lot of time with his kids.
Yeah.
And his kids aren't on the show. So, like, you just very little Jay Cutler airtime.
Hey, I think it's great. He made many millions of dollars. He's retired. He can kick back and just live it up in Nashville.
I mean, for like all the shit that I give Jay Cutler about being like a terrible quarterback for the Bears, he does hold pretty much every record for the Bears, just by nature of being like the longest running quarterback. So there's that.
It's something.
Something.
So I do want to point this out. That like usually when an NFL player retires and they've been there a long time, they usually retire in that city.
You would think.
Like, because they're part of the community. They usually like you spend a lot of time there, and Jay's just like not even like out of there for that long. He's like,
Yeah, I don't
we're going
think
to
that,
Nashville.
I don't think that relationship with him in the city was as strong as maybe your Brett Favre's or your or your Tom Brady's or
But he moved to Nashville to be at his college alma mater,
Vanderbilt.
Vandy.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's true,
He also
too.
already left Chicago to make a quick stop down in Miami for a reason.
How'd that work out for you, James?
Not great.
So
I'm
Jay,
being honest with
tell us a
you.
little bit more about this. So Jay
So,
Cutler,
yeah.
in this show, they're like, Jay's retired. Last year, he was retired for a bit. Then what happened?
And then Ryan Tannehill tears his ACL and is the starting quarterback of the Miami Dolphins at the time and is out for the season. So we only have backup Matt Moore, which is a great backup, but he's a backup. And so the Dolphins decide to pay, I think it was like $10 million. I'm looking at you on this one, Rob, but I think it was about $10 million for a one-year deal with the smoking Jay Cutler. He accepts the deal because it's $10 million. He's like, I just got to throw the football around a little bit. Like, okay, cool. I'm not going to come to training camp or any of that stuff. I'm just going to come to the games. And, like, he was okay, kind of. Like,
What
I
was
don't
the-
know,
what
it
was the
seems
record?
kind of okay. Oh, I don't know, like 6 wins, 7 wins, maybe 8 wins.
That's not
That's
bad.
about it. Like,
Yeah.
they missed the playoffs by, like, 3 games, which is horrible.
Yeah, but like getting 6 to 8 wins, like coming in on a dime.
I mean,
That's
it's like you're
respectable.
firing a lot of people when you have 6 to 8 wins.
You're firing Jay Cutler.
Right. You're fine. Like, a bunch of coaches are gone. Like, a bunch of people, like, That's just what happens.
There's
All
one
right.
for MJ Cutler.
But
Alright.
how was the Jay Cutler experience as a fan for you? Like, was it?
I don't know. I went to one game, which was a home game for the Dolphins, and it was against Oakland. And Jay Cutler didn't like he give a shit at all in that game. Like he would just kind of stroll on the field. When the team would be huddling, he'd just be off to the side, like with his hands in his pockets, just kind of chilling. And then be like, oh, we're playing, okay. And then he kind of walks in. He's like, all right, hut, and then he does something, and that was kind of it. Meanwhile, Marshawn Lynch is just throwing it down, and he clearly cares a lot more. So there you go. Jay Cutler looked like about what you get out of him. Kind of like
he looks a lot
show.
like the show.
Kind of didn't give a shit. Got paid a bunch of money though.
Is his retirement going to stick this time? Or is he,
It's how
is he
desperate the
watching
NFL
for
is for a
those?
quarterback.
Is he watching for those injuries, just waiting for the call?
There's certainly a lot of kind of unexplained Jay Cutler time in this show where like you don't really know what he's doing. Like he's kind of dropping the kids off in the morning, whatever. Like, is he just at the gym all day training in the off season just in case he gets that call?
He's definitely. I don't know. He seems a little depressed. I don't know if that's because he's not planning on playing this season or like.
I think he might be depressed because he's on this show.
Yeah.
I think like this definitely seems like, oh, we're gonna get married, and then once you're done playing football, I'm going back to reality TV, and like you're gonna be part of it.
Yeah, no, he definitely agreed to do this, and then the whole time it's been like, do I really have to do this show? I know I said I'd do it. Are you really? And she's like, yes, you're in the show. He's like, I guess.
I think he's in a doghouse for something. That's how it seems like. He screwed something up.
Yeah, he screwed up, and now he has to be on this reality.
He screwed up signing the waiver that he'd be on the show.
I mean, it got us to watch the show, so I mean, like,
Yeah. He's just they have to show him enough to get people to like, for people to tune in. But like people are watching the show for her. Like I don't think people are going out of the way to watch the show on E because Jay Cutler's in it. It's basically just for somebody to be like, hey, Jay Cutler's also in this show, so you should watch the show with me. That's all that's happening.
We went out of our way to watch the show on E!
Yeah, but
because
we're
Jay
insane
Cutler's
people watching all of the shit
One of our
across the internet.
friends,
Yes.
Mr. Fat Curry himself did the same.
That's shocking. Oh yeah, he did recommend the show, did he not? Yeah, this was a fan selected.
Wow.
Fan of the pod.
Wow.
So as I don't know if anyone's if I brought up on the pod yet, but my Google RSS feed is kind of like screwed up because of the pod. So I saw a lot of positive feeds about the show, and I'm so baffled.
I mean, I will be the outlier. I enjoyed this more than most shows we've watched.
Oh, man.
All right, we're gonna get to that later.
I know, but I do want to cast that stone in the air.
All right, that's
Like-
fine.
I did enjoy every time Jay Cutler was on.
Yeah, Jay Cutler is
sure.
the shining star of this reality show. The thing is, he's only on for like 5 minutes.
So I want to ask, like, if this was the Jay Cutler show and he was actually the star of the show, would it be a better show or would it not work? It only works because he's the side character who's kind of rolling his eyes at everything going on.
I disagree. I think the show should just be of Jay just doing whatever Jay does throughout the day, just like Big Brother style. Just like let's just watch what Jay does. Oh, he's watching the deer feed
It's more,
again.
it's more like there's just stuff that happens to Jay and he's just
Yeah.
not reacting to any of it. It's just the entire show.
I would rather watch Jay watching the deer feed
Yeah,
than watching the show.
that's what I'm saying. Like I just want to see what Jay's doing.
I'd love to just you're on Jay, and every time like Kristen comes in and out of like, oh, we're doing this, and Jay's like, ugh, fine. Like that's the show. And then like all these other people come in and like put the cones out on the side. Like that's interesting.
It's just the story of Jay trying to relax and these other people just ruining his day all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we got to click into this. Like what is it about this? It's like I just found the main character to just be so annoying. Like she just seems like the worst person. She has a nameplate on her desk, and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I'm done with this person. And it was, I'm CEO, comma bitch. I'm like, it's game over.
So
No respect.
My main issue with the show is it's like you're in high school with the worst like people from Mean Girls, and it's just the most boring, dumb, fake drama that means nothing, that doesn't add up to anything, and it's just like a waste of time, space, energy, and like air, as in like people talking about it. like not even airtime, is the
Just
reason
actual
why
air.
like this show sucks. Like some people might like that. Some people might have liked their high school experience being like bitchy, catty people, and I'm out. Like this is also what I didn't really like about Below Deck on like I was surprised Below Deck didn't just turn into this. That I'm at a high level, that's why.
Yeah, no,
Like what
yeah.
the show is and why I don't
I'm
like
trying.
it.
I'm trying to pick it out because like they introduce Kirsten or whatever, and it's just like, oh my god, I hate you. And then it's all of her friends, Kristen. Who gives a shit? Jay Cutler's wife. And then it's all of her friends, and they're all just insane people that are all bitchy about everything, driving around Nashville
So
trying to open this store.
Let's talk about. There's 5 main people outside of Jay Cutler that are on the show. There's Kristen.
Yeah.
Kristen's friend. I don't know who the hell she is.
The one who likes the Canadian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the 3 employees.
Yeah.
There's one scene, I think, with Kristen and the 3 employees, and then Kristen has his own side things happening, and then there's these 3 employees, really 2 of them that have their own separate thing. There's not a lot of interconnectivity between all these people, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. How are they running this business?
Like, I'm just, I still, I don't really have a lot to say about it, but I'm just like,
Here's
this
the
is the
question.
first episode of the show, and I'm just like, how there's just not a lot of connectivity between all these characters. You're just following random drama from random people that are not connected.
So I have a question about this business.
Yes.
So it's like a clothing and accessory sort of thing. Kristen, whatever, has this line.
Mrs. Cutler.
Jay Cutler's wife has like this line, but like the whole business is like 4 fucking people, and none of them do anything with clothes. Like one's a social media person who posts one post every 6 months and drinks a lot. One's a store manager for a store that's yet to be open, and the other one is doing a model. Like what? I don't like. What
Wait, who are the people making the
I mean-
who are the people making the shit? Are they just buying some shit
It's
and
just
selling it? Like,
like-
what's going on here?
Here, like all that's happening is they have some website, and they take orders on their website, and it gets sent to some factory where they crap out the shirt and jewelry and just send it to them, and the payment goes into some bank account, and it's basically just run. It's a storefront that's run itself at this point, and then they're just doing Instagram posts to try to get people to buy stuff on it.
Right.
That would be
Something
more
like
interesting
that.
of like how do they come up with the jewelry and stuff like that? And it's just like, nope, we're just gonna focus on these catty people trying to sell it.
Yeah, they definitely don't go over that. My hunch is Kristen Cavallari. She's probably put in a lot of work prior to figure out like how to get certain designs.
I think she's just reselling existing designs under her like brands.
It
I
could be,
would
but I think that'd
probably
be
say that.
pretty easy to find online, right? And she'd be called out. Like to her credit, she has a show based on her. She has built up this business enough to hire 4 employees, assuming it's her money, not Jay's money.
She does seem like a hustler. Like she
Right.
seems like throughout like Jay's career, she was doing a bunch of other stuff. She was previously on another TV show, The Hills.
Well, we talked about this.
Whatever.
Rob mentioned the hills in Laguna Beach.
Ah,
Yeah, I mean,
I think she's hustling and she's getting these products. It is very unclear how she's done that work, or if there's someone silent on the side that is just doing all the work.
Right.
so like Jay Cutler's retirement plan is just to use her to make all the money. Like Jay doesn't need to do anything.
No, I think that Jay Cutler's retirement plan is just to sit on his.
Well, I mean, he's
mountain of
got enough
cash,
money. He doesn't
and
need
she
to-
He just lets her run that business, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really need any more money, but
It depends on their lifestyle, but they're definitely in the club where, let's say, he has $20 million in cash in their bank account. Like you can
he's definitely not having $20 million in cash in his bank account.
No, but like you can easily then make $2 million a year just on in investing against that. If you can live off for $2 million a year,
Yeah, I mean, they're
then
investing
do
it.
that.
That's not in their bank account.
yeah, in their assets, may not like cash in their checking. But that my general purpose of this is they can make $2 million a year if they have at least that and have a pretty comfortable lifestyle.
Well, clearly, Kristen wants to do her own things, aka be on reality TV.
Oh yeah.
There's the only reason the show exists. Any other minutia we want to go over, Rob? You got anything?
I liked the story of how she came up with the name Uncommon James for her brand.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes no sense. Or it wasn't even really a full story, which was partly why I enjoyed it. It was, well, James is my daughter's middle name. And then Jay came up with Uncommon.
And I liked it.
And she liked it.
I want to see this, like, Jay, I need you to brainstorm some names for me.
Like,
What
she
was
didn't
that
even
like?
go over how she gave her daughter that middle name. Like, that would have at least been
That would have been a better story. You're right.
Quick question: what is Jay Cutler's full first name? Did you say James?
I think it's just Jay.
I think it's Jay.
It's just Jay.
It's just a letter
J-Y.
J.
It's the letter J.
I mean, Uncommon James is not a terrible. I think it's a fine name.
Yeah.
You think it's like a dude though named James? Like you think it's
I don't
about,
know. When I see Uncommon James, I'm not thinking female clothing and accessories.
Yeah,
line.
like the name doesn't really say what it is at all.
It's
It's
like-
like anti what it really is.
It sounds like some kind of like one of those weird like men's like shaving stores, like where you have like the
Like
lather
specialty razors
brush
and
and stuff.
lathers.
Yeah. Uncommon James.
I feel like it could also be like a good like T-shirt line for like male T-shirts, like Uncommon James. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want that common T-shirt. You got to get that specialty.
that uncommon.
Uncommon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to nitpick somebody's
I don't
business
know.
name.
I'm not a
It's-
marketing person, so you know.
But I feel like
Um,
the story behind the brand, it seemed to bring to light their like general relationship, where Jay just doesn't give a shit and he'll say something or do something, and then Kristen just seems like wants that approval from Jay, and she's like, oh well, yep, sure, okay.
Well, I mean, there's definitely a different relationship that they have when he's playing football and not playing football. Because he's working constantly when he's playing football. Like, he's home maybe a day a week when he's playing football. So, like,
Right, if that, yeah.
yeah, at the most. So, we're definitely seeing a different dynamic here.
Sure. But just in general, how Jay Cutler seems to carry himself on his show, it seems like everyone around him, he just tries to like get his persona that you do not matter to me.
Oh yeah, he
'Cause they
doesn't look
don't.
like he gives a shit at all.
Right, which is kind of like I can envy a little bit the like persona, but also can come off a little bit like an asshole. If
Oh,
someone's
yeah.
like pretty close to you and you still just don't seem like you're gonna give them the time of day.
Oh yeah.
Jay Cutler is not concerned with seeming like an asshole.
That's like the whole point, right? It's like a double-edged sword. Like we're just two sides to it.
Yeah, like when the employees were over, Kristen's like, "Isn't it so great that there's like all these girls over at your house?" And Jay's just like, "I don't want to be around these people."
It's so I mean he's such like an interesting person to have on the show because like Kristen comes from this like reality series that is like super produced and super scripted like the Hills and Laguna Beach. I mean we watched Siesta Key, which is in that same vein, is crazy produced. So it's really weird to have somebody on your show who's just unwilling to participate in the show. Really, like he just
That's the best part of the show. Is the
it's so
dynamic
good.
of like the super polished, like scripted reality part with Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
So this is a callback to something James said a little earlier. But what if Jay Cutler was on Celebrity Big Brother? Would that be great, or would that not work because it's a
Not
different
work.
kind of show?
Not work. We saw somebody that didn't care in that show. It was terrible. He was terrible.
Yeah.
Like it just. This works because he doesn't care, but he's surrounded by people that care, and there's no way to kick him off.
Do you mean Meta World Peace?
Yeah, Meta World Peace was the guy that didn't care, right?
AKA Ron Artest. One observation: they only shoot in the kitchen primarily. Like that was definitely the main set. They went to the bathroom, her closet. They seem like they have a pretty big house.
Well, I think it might partly be like when the kids are home. They clearly have the thing that the kids are not allowed to be on the show.
Yeah.
So they might have to sort of like restrict where they're filming, or there's certain footage they can't use, like the kids run in and ruin it. So we don't know exactly the details of how that works.
Also, Jay's just trying to take a nap in the living room and like having all those cameramen around. That's just annoying.
That was like probably part of the deal. It's like, okay, you can only shoot in these rooms. Like we're gonna set it up.
Like
Jay'll be there
Jay-
sometimes.
Jay's literally just hanging out with his kids, so he doesn't have to be on this reality show.
Maybe that's why she's so happy she's getting the office. They can hook the whole office up with cameras, and they don't have to be like that one room. And Jay's like, "Hey, I don't want to talk about this on camera. Let's go step in that room."
Oh yeah.
All right, so I want to switch gears a little bit to the employees. So Shannon's the
Social media director.
social media. So Shannon and I don't really
Brittany,
care.
store
Brittany,
manager.
they're like at this photo shoot, and Shannon's like talking to Ray or whatever the person's name is. Like, yeah, I don't really like having this other new boss. My boss is really Kristen. Bullshit drama thing, and so then Shannon or I can't even remember any of these people's names. Brittany walks in and overhears this because she's shit talking, and at some point she confronts her later, and Shannon's like, "Yeah, it was easier to shit talk about you behind your back than to your face." And
So I did it.
so I did
Such
it.
a good line.
And it was like, this is a terrible human being.
Didn't she also say there's a difference in how did she say it? Like there's a difference in shit talking about someone versus talking shit about them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It was
she was
something
like,
like that.
I wasn't talking shit about you. I was just shit talking.
Yeah, and you're like, and she's
Shoot-
like,
no.
but there's a difference.
Shooting the shit. No, that's where she
Shooting the shit. Yeah.
positioned it. Yeah.
So it seems to be that Brittany is trying to like do a solid for Kristen and like try to take over this whole thing. And I don't know if Kristen's like really sat down with everyone, was like, okay, this is your boss. Like,
Right.
but she's trying to be the boss for everyone. And there's this weird dynamic that's causing a lot of strife between the two, which is what most of the show was about. These two
Definitely.
people that no one really cares about at all, that no one
It's all-
knows.
The whole problem is just because there's these people that are just doing whatever without a boss, and all of a sudden they're like, "Well, you have a boss now," and they're like,
Well, is that
"We
the
don't want this
case?
boss."
Like, did Kristen sit these three people down
Right.
and was like, the two of you, okay, now you're going to report to her, and then she's going to report to me.
Right.
Like, is that how this is going to work?
That's how Brittany discussed it, but who knows what? all
Yeah,
these
that
people
Brittany
think.
is seeming to do that. But, like,
Right.
is this how this dynamic was set up?
But like this really feels like they talked about how do we get drama on our show, and then so like, oh, let's do this thing where like you don't like Brittany's your boss, and like talk about that. Like this feels very like manufactured. It
Agree.
doesn't feel real. Because like if Shannon's acting the way she is, and this is not fake, Kristen watches the dailies from episode 1, like, "Are you fired? You're clearly a terrible employee." Like,
Right.
Yeah.
there's no other.
But
reason
that, so
explanation
like
for this.
we get into this with these shows is like the people that are good on the show versus actually good employees.
But I think this is not just like this is they talked about it, like they
No,
planned how
I
they were
get
gonna do
what you're
this.
saying.
And then Jay's in these meetings and he just doesn't follow the script.
You think Jay's dealing with any of this?
Jay's like, lying on a couch while they're trying to talk to him about, "Oh, Jay, you should talk about this." He's like, yeah. Then he just doesn't.
It
do
would be kind of incredible if Jay's actually secretly heavily involved in or orchestrating all the drama.
He's writing all the
Did,
storylines.
did
Yeah.
Jay get an executive producer credit?
That'd be incredible.
All right. Does anyone have any other minutia they want to go over?
I cannot talk one more fucking minute about this fucking show.
I mean, we had to talk about it. They spent like a half hour on that bit, Max.
I thought I had one more, but I lost it. So let's just
All
move
right.
on.
Ratings. It's gonna be middle of the bottom, just because Jay
fake
Cutler.
out there.
Just because of Jay Cutler, it would be bottom of the bottom without Jay Cutler by far, for sure.
Middle of the bottom. It's boring as hell. It's not terrible. It's just boring as hell.
You're wrong.
I like that he gave it the same rating. It was just, you're wrong. You're right, but you're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a bottom third show for me. It was pretty brutal to watch. I mean, I know we watched it with commercials, but it was a rough one to get through. Jay Cutler, pretty hilarious in this show. Would be interesting to see like if that hilarity keeps up throughout the season, or if it's just kind of like a novelty thing for an episode. But yeah, definitely at the bottom.
Rob, what do you got?
So here's the thing: non-Cutler, bottom third.
Uh-oh.
Cutler scenes,
No.
Don't do it.
top third.
Don't-
Are you shitting me?
No,
So I got to put in the middle.
no you're
He's
wrong.
averaging it.
He's not in the show an average amount of time to offset.
Rob, I want to throw something out there.
Do it.
Jay Cutler voted for Donald Trump. Are you supporting Donald Trump right now?
Maybe.
Oh.
Oh.
So you're going middle officially.
I might watch another episode and just fast forward through all the non-Cutler scenes.
Interesting.
If you could get
If I could get the Cutler cut, the cut,
Send me the cut,
Double cut.
and I'll watch that.
and yeah, it's like it's only 10 minutes and just breeze through it. It's like must see TV.
Oh man.
Send me that one.
All right, James, what do you got for me?
Show's terrible. Pretty much everything Chris said. It's in the bottom. I'll give it an 8, and I'll keep it in the middle of the bottom only because Jay Cutler. I hate everyone else on this show. Like, I don't want to ever see them in real life or in any form.
They'd
just
probably be
seem
fine
like-
to hang out with in real
They
life.
seem like terrible people.
Well, Kristen seems okay.
No. I hate her so much. I can't believe Jay's married to her. What is that guy doing? Oh my God.
I find it pretty believable that he's married to her.
She's pretty hot.
Yeah, like if you're going for looks only, sure. But like, Jesus. Whew. Anyways, enough about that. I don't like any of these people on the show. Jay's the only acceptable person.
All right, no, I give it to us.
Very similar sentiments as Rob. Like he hit on the head, and so for me, this is going to be middle and nearing towards the top of the middle.
Oh,
Are you going to watch it again?
I don't watch any of these shows again.
There you go.
That's the best answer.
Well,
Untrue. Untrue.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I said
Liar.
that, I was thinking in the back of my head. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let it lie.
What show?
We watched one episode of Below Deck Mediterranean together,
Yeah,
which
we
I would
did.
like to come back to, James.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
we
can
can
go
get
back.
into that right now.
So overall rating for this show, hot mess.
Hot mess.
So let's get into this below deck Mediterranean.
All right.
James has a secret.
I do.
Somewhat
It's
secret.
not really a secret. I've been talking to everyone about it. I've been watching that show. It's a great show. I put it in my top third. It's still heavily in the top third.
Boy,
James, I have one question for you.
Hit me.
Is Casey still on the show?
Casey is still on the show.
Holy shit.
As-
Casey
Way
the one who got
shocking.
sick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of things with Casey. Some fun facts. So she's the one that was barfing the whole first day all over the
and
episode.
second day.
She has continued to have seasickness, but she has gotten seasickness pills, and she has not been throwing up as much. But it has made her drowsy and not perform up to some of her duties as much as Hannah would prefer.
How is this girl still on the fucking show?
Because she signed a reality show
It's
contract.
because it's a reality show. It's a reality TV
Yeah,
show.
but you can get fired. Like
yeah,
on The
I don't know.
Apprentice.
She's basically sucking up to Captain Sandy a whole lot and just like cleaning her room, making sure like anytime she sees her, she's always doing really well. Not a bad option when like that's the boss. And so like Hannah's like, yo, I want to fire this girl. Captain Sandy's like, no way. I don't want to hear about her goddamn resume again. Oh yeah, she also lied about the resume. That was a whole
so
thing.
she's not a bartender.
So basically the whole
Or a
resume
barista.
thing was she gave it to a friend to quote polish it up for her. She didn't look at it after that and sent it off.
That's bullshit.
And so it basically fast forwarding here, it turns out there's a number of things on this resume, which in the service world, like I don't know the right terms for it, but basically getting like you're certified as a barista, you're certified as a bartender, and you have like this special dining service that's like, you know, the high-end 5-star restaurant kind of service. And she has all these on her resume, and Hannah confronts her about this, and she's like, well, the thing about that is I didn't know that was on my resume. And so Hannah loses her mind. She's like, I want to fire her, blah, blah, blah.
I
Long
have
story
an
short, kinda
important
saying
question.
doesn't
Is
happen.
she actually from Long Island?
Yeah, I think so.
That was the most important part.
Okay.
Yeah, she definitely needs
Trying
to
to
be
hook
fired.
Right.
Trying to give a shout out.
The other thing I've learned about it on this, which is so the third stew, which is the lowest ranked stewardess on the ship, is an entry level position. And so like Captain Sandy's basically like, hey, Hannah, you're the lead. It's your job to like train her and get her up to speed. It's an entry level position. What are you expecting?
I guess, yeah.
So I learned that.
I guess we talked a lot about who's gonna bang who.
Oh yeah.
We got to know the
Lot of
bangings that
banging
going
going
on.
So yeah, so let's see. Joao has got a love triangle going on with both Casey and Brooke. Both of them like Joao.
Is that
and
the
he's
cook?
just flirting with both of them. Joao is the New Zealand fellow, I believe. Oh no, Zimbabwe.
Is
One of
that
the two. I can't
Snooki's
remember.
friend? Joao?
Not
Yeah.
Joao.
No, when he first said it, I was like, wait, hold up.
Joao.
And Brooke is one that was dating the guy, right? Initially.
So yeah, Brooke had a boyfriend on the show. Boyfriend breaks up with her. She's devastated. Gets blackout drunk. Starts flirting a whole lot with Joao, and tells him basically on the first night that she likes him. And then Joao is also blacked out, aka Jezebel or something like that, Jezebel or something.
Oh, right,
He has
his,
an
like, alter ego, yeah.
So he's alter ego, blackout drunk, and the next day they have no idea about this.
Great.
But there's this whole love triangle going on, and basically Casey's like, "Hey, you gotta tell me which one of us you liking," and he's just like, "I'm too drunk to talk about this right now."
Is
Or
this
I'm
still
too
a
hungover.
top tier show?
Oh yeah, I've watched every episode. It's great.
Are you?
Damn.
Have you gone backwards and watched previous seasons?
No, haven't gotten there yet because this season's current and happening, so I'm just watching it as it comes out.
Sure.
All right.
wait,
also,
yeah.
Hannah and Conrad, so the bosun and the head stewardess,
Yeah.
also hooking up. They went on a date on the show. It's a whole thing. So that's
Is
what's
Conrad the
happening.
really young one?
Yeah.
Conrad is the really young one.
Yeah.
Who has a big beef with Joao. Joao has a beef with pretty much everyone.
Right, that was his shtick.
That's his thing.
Yeah. Wait, so how about the customers? So episode 1,
Oh yeah.
they were not nice.
Oh yeah.
Episode 2, it seemed like they were a little bit cooler, but we only watched like the first part of that.
Yeah.
customer
So
set.
what's kind of interesting about the show is basically when you watch an episode, they'll usually end the episode, or like the second half of it will be sort of like the new guest coming on. And then, so the first half of the next episode will be sort of the end of that charter, and then midway through they bring on new guests. So it's kind of like there's usually some guests popping in and
But
out.
are the
It's pretty
guests equally as bitchy and annoying?
good. Not all of them. They've varied pretty well. So I think thus far there's been maybe 4 different charter guests, each with some uniqueness. There's been one group that has basically like loved everything, tipped them $21,000 at the end. And
That's
was
almost-
like everything was amazing. They were like complimenting Chef Adam, like the food's delicious and all this stuff. There's been a bunch of other food incidences with with Adam. There was a whole situation where this one girl just didn't like seafood. I can't remember if that was the episode we watched or not. That was
Yes.
crazy. The funny one though is most recently there's this like girl and her friends, and like her best friend has one request on her preference sheet, and it's gumballs. She says, if nothing else, I've got to have gumballs. And so she gets on the ship, and she's like, where are the goddamn gumballs? And so they bring them out, and she's like talking shit, like, they better not be white gumballs. That's the worst one. And sure enough, it's just a bowl of white gumballs. And she proceeds to say, like, Hannah better get her ass and, like, fly in some goddamn gumballs. Anyways, they found some more gumballs.
What the?
She seems like a crazy person.
All right,
It was
I'm
fun.
done with the show. I can't talk. I can't.
I do want to add one other thing on that. No. So we found out it was $55,000
Yep.
for
Sure.
the couple. I think it was like
For
3
5.
Yeah, to be on the boat for the show, but
Sure.
like 3-4 day charter, right?
Sure.
Heavily discounted, but it's still like a decent amount of money per person. So the $21,000 tip is pretty high,
That was the biggest tip they've got all season.
right? That's almost a 50% tip.
Yeah. There was another one that was like $4,000 or something. Everyone just was like, what is this bullshit?
Yeah. The second thing, they definitely should have the gumballs. If she didn't say, I got to be rainbow, then yeah, that kind of makes sense.
All right. Very lead here, Harrison. We have to talk about the new season of Floribama Shore.
Yeah.
Oh,
Woo-hoo! Man, Chris wanted to give it to Harrison.
Oh,
and he got
no.
so let down.
I only watched half the episode, but not so good so far.
I thought it was great. It's
Uh,
all the same people.
I can't believe everyone came back.
Oh man, it's pretty funny. I can't believe everyone came back too.
But I feel like they spent like 20 minutes on the peeing girl, Courtney, right?
yeah.
And it was just uninteresting and annoying.
What'd she pee on this time?
Somebody touched her stuff,
Oh.
and she was upset.
It was a dumb plot.
Well, the thing is like Courtney, the only time she was in season 1 was when she was peeing on things.
Yes, I'm aware of this.
So it feels like this is kind of like, oh, I have to be more emotional this season. And she kind of ruined the half of the episode I saw. So
Yeah.
So why are you so surprised she's back? Everyone's back.
no, I mean, there's definitely some big beef between two characters,
Lot of
and they're
beef.
both back. So like, and there's not a lot of what happened. They're not like reconciling any of it in this episode. So it's like, okay, I don't know. That's why.
I feel like MTV signs that check. They're not in a position to be like, I don't need it.
Sammy said no.
Sammy's in a different position than these jokers.
That's true. All right.
Yeah, Floribama Shore, season 2.
All right, Harrison.
See how it develops.
Tee it up for us.
He's giving you the real one now.
Oh man,
the real one. The new season of the challenge.
So we have the last season of the challenge trilogy
That's such bullshit.
that started with the Dirty 30 and continued with Vendettas, and now we're on to the final reckoning.
You mean Rivals 4?
Rivals 4.
Nah, dude, I like the trilogy thing. It's been a good setup.
That's so. Why are you buying into this hype?
It's so
Dude,
good.
it's like the same group of people from like this like season of a trilogy kind of
Next season, I guarantee
It is,
you,
though. You can shake your head, but it is.
Bananas will be in it.
He's gonna be in it this season.
No, I mean he's in
He's
this season.
already in it.
Right.
But next season, Bananas is going to be in it.
Bananas will be in it until he becomes the host.
yeah.
You
But then he'll
can't-
still be in it,
I
just
agree.
as the host.
Right.
You're not going to replace TJ Lavin with Bananas. He's not that good.
What if that's what makes this the trilogy? This is the final TJ season.
That
Bananas would be a better host.
That would be bonkers if TJ retired.
No way. TJ is such a good host for the show. Bananas is going to be another Miz, just like
Well, the
over
Miz
the
is
top,
so bad.
terrible.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Please help me understand why TJ is a good host.
Okay. Oh man.
Because he brings
got this.
character to the show.
You know what? If you don't know, you're never gonna know.
Wow.
I'm okay with that. I am on the spectrum of liking and hating the challenge. I am very close to hating.
Oh man.
How many
Um,
episodes have you seen?
More than enough.
No, give me a number.
Probably 10.
Oh, Jesus, 10? How have you watched 10 episodes?
'Cause I used to
and you're
watch it
this
a lot with you guys, and then I was
Man.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
done.
I mean, I could see you being done, but the reason you should be done is not because of TJ Lavin.
No, it's not because of him, but his host credentials, he's kind of just like factual.
That's
Yeah, that's part.
so that's kind of part of it, I think, because like the show is so crazy and there's so much drama and crazy shit happening all the time that he's a very even kind of calming force
Yeah,
in,
he brings-
in the storm of the challenge. Like he's kind of like keeping the peace.
I feel like they're producing it around him a lot, like in terms of like the mood and energy. Like he brings it in, he doesn't give any shit. He's like, "This is how it is. Deal with it." And I feel like it's great for a competition reality show. Like if this was Fear Factor, definitely not.
But then if he's not doing anything unique, then my argument would be one, yes.
But I don't need-
Bananas
I
is
don't-
too flamboyant, but then TJ Lavin is an easily replaced.
I mean, you can replace TJ Lavin, but you just can't replace him with somebody that's flamboyant. It's got to be just like some
Right.
guy that's chill
Got it.
and like can give the facts and like just
Yeah.
brings that kind of like level-headedness to the challenge, whereas like Bananas and the Miz just don't.
Got it.
Like
That's
I,
fair.
I get, to be fair, I get where you come from because when we first watched the show, I hated TJ, and it's only after enough time and enough of the crazy shit going on in the show that I feel like TJ is an acquired, likening,
That's-
and
yeah.
and like it's like as it goes, I think it balances well with the show.
To be fair, I think TJ's fine. It's just that the show I don't like, and that I don't think TJ's unique in what he brings to the show, and that's why I think he's easily replaceable, and I don't value him a lot as a host.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
So I mean, for first episodes, there's a lot of stuff happening. They're introducing all the different people and all the teams.
There's
There's
so many
There's
people.
so many teams. They're sprinting into the house and kind of getting all their stuff. They had one challenge to basically kind of call out some people at the beginning. So you sort of had one team that was the winning team. And then there were kind of the two bottom teams automatically got eliminated. So that was Jemmy and Jenna, and Brittany and Chuck got auto eliminated. And then Amanda and Zach, who won, chose to take out Devon and Josiah, who have never been on the show before. So there's out. And then the other, I guess, significant piece of news is there was a fight between Kayla and Kaylee. And Melissa.
Melissa.
And basically, Caleb just pushed Melissa, and now both of these teams look like they're going to be disqualified.
Well, so the two have been confirmed kicked, but
Yeah.
TJ didn't confirm
Sure.
their partners,
Right.
which is, I guess, an important element of the show.
No, he did.
They're all partnered up.
No, at the end of the
it was
episode.
the cliffhanger.
right?
It was the cliffhanger.
It was sort of cliffhangered. It was a little, yeah.
He said that Melissa and Kalo are for sure gone, and then he's like, "But you didn't consider what would happen to your partners," and then it's just cut.
Yeah, so maybe they'll pair them up. Maybe they, who knows?
I think this thing happened on either Vendettas or Dirty 30, and they just like hooked them back together with somebody else.
I mean, like it definitely happens all the time with kind of varying results. Like sometimes one person gets kicked off the team and they have another reserve waiting who just kind of comes in. Like I've never seen this kind of double elimination from two-person teams. Like maybe they'll just merge the teams and fix it. Like who knows?
They can play by themselves in the next
yeah.
challenge.
The last thing is Johnny Bananas does not have a partner right now. So it's kind of ambiguous as to what's going on with his situation, but he does not have a partner currently.
You did leave out a good piece of information. The actual challenge was digging your partner
Oh,
who's
yeah.
buried alive.
That was really good. That was definitely the first challenge. It's like to discover your partner was dig them out of the ground, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So did they give any kind of explanation to why Bananas doesn't have a partner? Because Max said it was some sort of travel thing for someone else.
Yeah,
but-
so like Max kind of filled us in. There was some kind of production difficulties with getting Devin there. He had some kind of family emergency or something. But in the show, they basically just kind of explain it as like Bananas just wasn't dug up in kind of the main thing, and then at some point there's like, oh, we gotta go dig him up, and then they just kind of go out there and just dig him out of the ground basically, and it's like, oh, I guess you don't have a partner yet, we'll try to get one hooked up for you. So he's just kind of hanging out with no partner right now. It's really weird.
And also as a convenience that he can't be kicked out of this first challenge.
Yeah,
He had
for
a bye.
Definitely had a buy. So I mean, there are definitely a few people that can come in. I mean, conspicuously absent, I would say, is Big Tony. I mean, he
He's
would
celebrating
be
that victory.
he would be the real pick for.
Well, Devin if this is a trilogy, it should be Devin.
It should be
'Cause
Devin.
They left last season.
It
with
should be Devin, but is per Max, he was supposed to be the one and wasn't there because of kind of some family issues or something.
Wait,
So
Devin was supposed to be.
He was
Oh, right.
apparently Devin was supposed to be his partner, but couldn't make it. So
He just didn't want to partner with Johnny.
oh my
It's
god.
like fuck that.
So I think it's got to be Tony. I mean, like Tony pulled the big power move that screwed Bananas over and put him into that elimination last season. He's also coming off his win in Champs versus Stars.
Coming off that W. He's still celebrating that W. I bet.
He's still drunk to this day.
And the other twist in the very first episode was the Redemption House.
Oh yeah.
So nobody's actually really gone except for Devin.
I am pretty glad that the Redemption House is back. The Redemption House was a big part of Dirty 30. I don't think that Chris loved it
Nope.
too much.
It seems like they're tweaking the formula though, hopefully for the better.
Yeah. So like I think Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. I think some of your issues with it were kind of based on the format of the challenge to get the Redemption House people back in.
It's all production. It's the production about the challenge. Like just the challenge producers just didn't handle it very well. Had terrible challenges to get them back in, and then like so much time was wasted on it that you got one person back in. Like I guess now that maybe it's teams that'll be a little bit better, but like I just didn't like that aspect of it.
There's just like I love the meta game that's going on of people constantly speculating whether or not there's a Redemption House and like, you know, the Redemption House coming back multiple times and that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was
And I feel like
interesting.
they kind of teed it up like TJ was like, you're going to have to earn your way back in this time. So it's not just, you know, I think there's going to be some sort of mini competition within the Redemption House to like get boosted up. And I feel like I saw that before in another show. It might have been a previous challenge or like a Big Brother kind of thing or something. But I'm kind of looking forward to that.
What if every time they go to the Redemption House, like the teams can get jumbled up? So like the group of two that goes in is not necessarily the group of two that comes out.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason they're grouped up is because they hate each other. So that would be advantageous of the people that come back because they might not actually hate each other.
You know what I think would actually be kind of interesting, which is going back to a show that I think we all like mostly, is The Hero, where people in the Redemption House could like manipulate the game in the real challenge. in some sort of way, like based off of how they do in a challenge or something. I feel like that would be interesting.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
I think that's
Right.
more like Survivor, where like the last like 7 people that get kicked off actually pick who gets the money.
Right. So you don't want to just screw everybody over at the final leg. Could be. I don't know. Who
Oh,
knows?
well,
Sounds like a good
We'll
drinking
have
game.
to see.
all right. Well, we'll continue watching the challenge. We'll probably have some minor updates as the season goes on.
Yep.
I think that's about it for us. This guy. For
I
for us
do
guys this week.
have another surprise.
Ooh.
So there's another show
Oh no.
that we have watched on this series, who a famous Jersey Shore star is making an appearance in.
Fear Factor.
So I kind of want to do like a random guess here. Do people want to guess the person from the Jersey Shore or the show that they're in? I'll give you one or the other. What do you guys want to do?
I'll give you Snooki, and
Oh, you want to do both? Okay.
and I'd say Fear Factor because I know they're in Fear Factor, but I don't think you're watching Fear Factor.
it is a show that I'm watching.
I think it's
The hint.
Mr. Green with the knife in the kitchen.
Good job.
Okay. Is Mr. Green the Jersey
Oh,
Shore?
it's Ronnie on Dating Naked.
Oh.
Yes. Okay.
It's the situation on Cops.
Did we watch Cops?
No.
Oh. this is why I think the double's too much.
This is
Harrison,
great.
You got a
though.
guess, Noah?
Oh,
I'm-
I don't know. Is it JWoww or JWoww?
Jenny.
It is somebody that is actually on the Jersey Shore, and they are now in a season of another show that we have previously watched that I am currently watching.
Oh, we
I'm-
previously watched it too.
I'm gonna say it's Vanderpump.
Okay. Who's the Jersey Shore person?
Maybe Ronnie. I don't know.
Okay. No.
I thought I was gonna say something, but because you previously watched it, I now do not.
Okay.
know. I'm just gonna throw it out there and say Snooki, but I have no clue on the show.
Okay. You're all wrong. Not even close. It's Vinny.
Ooh.
Vinny is on the Great Food Truck Race.
Oh,
Running a food truck.
Running a
Oh,
food truck?
man.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a
Him-
keto food truck?
Yeah. It's an
Wow.
Italian food truck with him, his mom, and I forget the other person.
Is it
and
a-
they are competing on the latest season of the Great Food Truck
I'm
Race.
in.
I'm
So
in.
in.
Is it a
insane.
Shut the pod down. We gotta pop this on the TV.
So I've discovered this like a few weeks back, and we just haven't had a chance to pod. So I've just been holding on to this nug.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good.
So now that it's out, we've got some more work to do.
Gotta watch it.
So wait. Is it really a keto food truck?
Yeah, it's like
How do you have
how do
Italian
pronounce it?
keto
It's-
food?
It's Capetto's whatever Italian food truck.
No,
Oh,
no,
The keto
no.
diet stuff,
No,
like
wait.
no carb.
No, it's definitely not low carb.
Yeah, that's why I was. That's
Yeah.
why I was so confused.
I don't know that much about Vinny because I've never watched the Jersey Shore, but I know he's on this food truck.
So his whole thing on the show is that he's on the ketogenic or ketogenic diet, which is
Oh.
basically like a no carb diet.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely making a bunch of pastas and all kinds of stuff.
Here's the thing about Vinny.
Yeah.
Vinny is Max. So remember when Max like says, "Oh, I can't
Oh,
eat that
yeah.
right now. I'm on this thing." Vinny is the same way, where he'll say stuff like that, but then he'll just go and get smashed at the bar, which seems to not follow the rules.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoa. You can have alcohol on the ketogenic diet.
Vinny clearly said, "You're allowed to have some alcohol. I think I've gone over what you're supposed to have."
You shouldn't. Like, it's not good for you, but you still can. But when he eats that in Jersey Shore, when he eats that whole pizza, it was great.
Oh, that was so good.
Another show plug. It's not a new show, but it's really good. Goliath. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
Billy Bob Thornton. It's 2 seasons. Billy Bob is a lawyer. Each season is one case. Binged it pretty quickly. Really enjoyable. It's up on there. I'd recommend go watching it.
Nice.
All right. I'm going to give a shout out to Harry Potter Binge Mode. I'm going to keep
Oh,
it
yeah.
up. It's pretty good. And then we're going to leave it at that. We'll see you guys next time. You can find us on facebook.com/whoputthison. You can tweet at us at whoputthison. You can email us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. Please give us a rating and a review. It'll help on iTunes. And we'll see you guys next time.